Hello and welcome to our program. Please join me in welcoming on our show today well-known cardiologist Dr. H K Chopra. Dr. Chopra, welcome to the program.
Thank you, ma'am.
When you started the practice of cardiology about 38 years ago, and today when you're at the head of many cardiological associations also, what has been the change in the practice of this field?
When I was just a student, I had no idea about the cardiology. I just wanted to be a perfect physician. And as I grew, I thought my destiny is more towards cardiology. And my focus was totally on science. And I thought I'll go to the detailed scientific aspect of cardiology and I'll become a perfect cardiologist. I achieved that. I'm very thankful to each and every one in this world who gave me this honor and opportunity. But then I realized that there is some lacking in what I've learned. And the lacking was there was no integration of spirituality or wellness. All the time we are focusing on heart illness, and illness. But I thought a time has come that there should be a paradigm shift. Move from heart wellness, and wellness, and we should not talk much of illness if we really want to eliminate the illness from this universe. And that concept should come right from the beginning, not at this age that I am learning about the wellness after 38 years of practice. It's too late, but I think still not too late, and I must do it. Maybe I may be able to give a message to my colleagues, to my juniors and my friends, as well as my patients and the public and masses, that wellness is the key if you want to be healthy and live at least till the age of 80. After 80, it's God's will.
Dr. Chopra, as we see spirituality today, it's a very touchy-feely subject. A lot of people say, what is spirituality? We have our own realms and definitions of spirituality. And when we talk of science, we talk of exact numbers, logic, rationality, proofs. You say there's a strong link. A lot of us believe that there is a science to spirituality, and a lot of us also believe that there is a spirituality to science. In your experience, what is the link between the two?
I think it's a very, very good question. I personally believe that science is spirituality and spirituality is science. There is a very strong link. If you see the definition of World Health Organization, it defines health as a state of physical, mental, social, emotional, psychological, spiritual well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. The focus component of spiritual is there, but it was never practiced. When I was a student,
right,
in my undergraduation or in my post-graduation, this component of spiritual was never taught to me. This I learned over a period of time. And I firmly believe that spirituality is a very, very important component of practice in medicine by a doctor to treat the patient in a very healing manner, in a very soothing manner, and not in a rigid, rough or rude manner. I feel that we become a complete human being once we absorb this component of spirituality in the definition of health. We become a perfect being. We become a perfect being taking all the components, social, societal, environmental, psychological, emotional, everything. We become complete, in short.
So when we talk of holistic health, we talk of the complete being, social, psychological, emotional, physical. But when we come to modern medicine in particular, and when they address the physical problems of the human being, they tend to see them as silos. We have a heart specialist, we have a brain specialist, we have a knee specialist, we have a kidney specialist. Where is the human being specialist?
Unfortunately, we have divided among ourselves. We are one, but we make a divider: right ear specialist, left ear specialist, right eye specialist, left eye specialist, right hand specialist, left hand specialist.
True.
There is nothing like that. Every system is connected. There is a total connectedness between the heart and lung, heart and kidney, heart and brain. They are all connected. If you treat every human being as one, you will be perfect in your diagnosis and perfect in your treatment. But if you treat individual as only a heart, neurology is somebody else's problem, we are going to commit a lot of mistakes.
True.
So I personally believe that you have to be a perfect internist then to become a specialist, so-called cardiologist or so-called neurologist. I am the president of Society of Cardiology, but if you ask my personal opinion, I am first a perfect internist. Cardiology is by the way.
All right. So do you think, Dr. Chopra, that there needs to be a paradigm shift in the way our medical schools teach young students?
Absolutely. Time has come, we must introspect that there should be more teaching, more emphasis on wellness and not on illness. We talk of hypertension or diabetes or heart attack, or we talk of cholesterol. So we should say cholesterol wellness. We should say diabetes wellness, heart wellness. If we talk of wellness, it's a very positive approach.
Right.
If we talk of illness, it's like a horror. It creates negativity in your mind. It creates a kind of fear complex. So you have fear complex and you don't want to go close to it. But when it concerns the well-being, you really want to know what is there for me to do so that I remain well and I don't fall victim to diabetes, and I don't fall victim to a high cholesterol, and I don't fall victim to a hypertension, and I must have an awareness about hypertension, what I should do to optimize my lifestyle right from the childhood so that I don't get a hypertension till the age of 80. After 80, everybody has to get something. We are not immortal. We are all mortal.
Thankfully.
But yeah, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But it should happen only after 80. I've seen people falling sick at the age of 35. They are obese. They don't exercise. They have wrong emotions. There are only two emotions in human beings. One is the emotion of love. Second is the emotion of fear. It's the love from where originates compassion, humility, hopefulness, sympathy, bigotry, peace, harmony, hope and health. And it is the emotion of fear which gives rise to jealousy, hatredness, anger, irritability, hostility, cynical behavior, helplessness, selfishness, vengeance, vindictiveness, and it gives rise to so-called suppression, repression, depression, frustration, disturbed ease and disease.
Right.
What should we nurture? Nurture the values of compassion.
Okay.
Right from the childhood, the time a child is born, not it's too late from my point of view, right from the time the baby is in the mother's womb.
Right. Conception. Absolutely.
From conception to the grave, we must nurture only love and compassion and humility and simplicity and humbleness. I'm sure we are going to be a perfect being.
Right.
We all fall victim to a negative emotions which create all kind of diseases.
Right.
We need a control. A control is required at that level, and we must keep on nurturing this control so that we remain in harmony with the environment within us, what we call as microcosm, and the harmony outside us, what we call as the macrocosm. So I always say, as is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. As is the atom, so is the universe. As is the internal environment, so is the external environment. And as is the mind, so is the body.
Right.
And as is the body, so is the mind.
Absolutely.
Choice is totally ours.
So when we take this movement from a micro to a macro level of viewing, every individual is different, Dr. Chopra. We all have individual challenges. We respond and react to the same thing differently. Different emotions are aroused in us. Our body responds accordingly very differently. And yet there is this umbrella term of what we call wellness. So is wellness different for different people, or are there some standard benchmarks of wellness?
Very, very good point. I think if you see a structure of atom, it is same. If you see a quantum, it is same. If you take a quartz, it's same. If you take a boson, it's same. If you take a quantum soup, it is same. If you see a genetic coding, genes are same. There is no difference. The only thing is, there is some arrangement of patterns of atom, what we call as coherence, or what we call as a pattern of arrangement. When the time the pattern is disturbed, commotion is produced, disturbance is produced, and this depends on optimization of internal environment and the external environment. It's very complex. It's not so simple.
Right.
We have 60 trillion cells in our body, and there are 6 trillion chemical reactions occurring every second. And you and me, I just had a cup of tea. I'm digesting my cup of tea. I am not aware of it. There is so much of exchange of glucose molecules when I'm communicating with you. I am not aware of it. Everything is happening in accordance with the law of nature. If I am at peace, everything is heaven for me. If I am not at peace, everything is hell for me. So our chemical dependence inside us depends on in what frame of mind you and me are. Somebody asked me, what is mind, what is consciousness, and what is the physical body? So I told them, very simple, physical body, as I mentioned to you, so many cells in our body are same. 60 trillion cells in everybody. And I say 6 trillion chemical reactions. But all these reactions depend on the mind. Then somebody asked me, sir, can you explain what is mind? Mind is nothing but the innate or natural intelligence. Mind is not in the brain. It's a myth. It's a total mistake. Mind is in every cell of the body. The same cell in the heart, it becomes a pacemaker. The same cell in the brain becomes a thinking cell. The same cell in the stomach liberates a juice. The same cell in the bone becomes a osteoblast. So every cell has got a unique talent. And all the biochemistry change in our body on daily basis. For example, our stomach lining changes every 6 days. After 6 days, a different lining. Our whole skin changes every 4 to 6 weeks. Our whole body skeleton changes in 12 weeks. Our whole liver changes in 8 weeks. In other words, what I'm saying, you and me are different model in different years.
Yeah. And
the model of you and me of last year is dead.
And we born and die every second, every minute.
Absolutely. This model of this year will determine the model of 2016 depending on our perceptions, our thoughts, our interpretations, our experiences, and our choice making. In other words, I must say that our health is the manifestation of our own choices and our intelligence. Somebody asked me, sir, what is intelligence? Then I had said, intelligence means, it derived from 2 words. Inter means in between, and ligere means choice making. Again, choices. Choices purely based on the perceptions. Perceptions on thoughts. Thoughts on interpretations. And they are same in every being. They change based on the internal and the external environment. If I eat the wrong food at a wrong time, in a wrong place, in a wrong manner, in a wrong dose, in a wrong environment, it will produce toxicity. If I eat and optimize my lifestyle right from the childhood, I am not going to fall victim to any ailment at least till the age of 80.
Right.
So this concept of wellness
comes from there. So that means basically what we're discussing here, Dr. Chopra, is that we can choose to be who we are.
Absolutely.
And since we constantly regenerate ourselves, that means somewhere we're also deciding based on the choices, how are we genetically slowly coding ourselves also.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that means lifestyle choices are also genetically affecting generations that follow.
Sure.
But with this whole understanding to say that finally, intellectually, it's a great space to be in, to be able to understand. But when we are working in a daily rhythm, in a daily routine, there are pulls, there are pressures. Some of us respond differently, some of us totally react to them. But finally, how we choose depends on the pulls and the pressures at that particular point of time, and constantly suck us back into a pattern. And the reason I keep saying that, you said that even along the genetic material, there's a pattern. And when the pattern is disturbed, right? But here, we're also in a pattern, and this is a pattern we need to break. In the real life scenario, what are the choices or what are the things we can do to break certain patterns?
This is a very important question. It's very difficult. That's why we talk again and again. And I was mentioned today, kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. And kindness in loving creates happiness and health. But nobody understands what we are talking about.
Right.
If we do this, we are a very healthy being. Other words, if I express to you, tranquility is truth. Tranquility is truth. Truth is bliss. And bliss is divine. But where is the tranquility?
Absolutely.
So until unless we are tranquil and we have kindness in everything, kindness in our thought process, kindness in eating, kindness in our behavior, kindness in our attitude, kindness in our sleeping pattern, kindness in our waking pattern, kindness everywhere, then we are going to be healthy. A concept everybody should learn. We are what we, our wisdom is purely what we are and not what we have. There is a lot of difference in two. Unfortunately, most of the time we think that my wisdom is in what we have. There is a problem. There is no happiness there. Wisdom is what we are. Accept that. If we accept that, then we go towards what we call as so-called moksha and nirvana.
Okay.
When I say nirvana, it is an eternal happiness. If you see the nature of my soul or your soul, it is same. There is no difference. What we call as Sat, Chit and Anand. Sat is consciousness without fear. Chit is Anand. Sat, Chit and Anand. Chit is consciousness. Sat is truth. And totally Anand is happiness. So happiness is not in the material world. We are mistaken. We are looking for happiness in the material world. One of my patients came to me and she gave me a book of 100 rupees. And the title of the book was How to Remain Happy. And she told me, please give me this book tomorrow. So it was a stress for me to read the book in the night and give her the book next day. And I gave her the book next day. And I told, Madam, I have read the book. She told, are you a happy person? I asked her, first tell me, why did you give her this book? Do you think that I am an unhappy person? She said, sir, I did not get any happiness by reading the book. It is not in the book. You have to nurture yourself with all the thoughts and emotions on daily basis by all the 8 limbs of yoga. If you follow all the 8 limbs of yoga, like yama, do's and don'ts, niyama, which is self-discipline, asana, which you have seen the other day on World Yoga Day, is only 3rd component. First component is very important. Do's and don'ts. Niyama, self-discipline. Asana, postures, sun salutation, all the components of sun salutation. Then pranayam, breathing exercise. Then dharana, concentration, contemplation. Dhyana, some meditation. And then samadhi. I personally feel today, after working for 40 years as a cardiologist, if you lead the life of a yoga, you are going to have a perfect peace and perfect health.
It's taken you 40 years, Dr. Chopra,
to understand it,
to reach this place, right? We also say that what we learn, what we absorb depends on our continuous growth involvement and the situation. So today I'm in a position to absorb and understand something because of my current circumstance. I want to take you back as a cardiologist, as somebody who's been dealing with people and ill health and issues, to say there are people who are at different stages, there are people who are at different ages, who've not had 40 years, who've read a lot. There's a lot of literature on this, there's a lot of writing, good writing which has happened. There are some of the people who are actually making a movement on this path in bits and pieces. But the reality still is that there are a lot of young people for whom this is just talk. Finally, it's just good talk. Parents are telling them, teachers are telling them, their professors are telling them. I think the only place where they're really comfortable and they spend maximum time is peer group, who is not telling them this, you know. That means somewhere, and this is an area of learning where they can learn the maximum. How do we actually make it doable for young people? Because just talking about it doesn't really make it doable, it's still conversation.
It's a very important point. I think if one understands what should be the lifestyle, what should be the daily routine in a human being, he can achieve a perfect discipline in life.
Or even small changes to at least start the path.
See, I'm telling you the word, when I told you the 8 limbs of yoga, that's for perfection. Path of yoga is path of enlightenment. Path to yoga is path to happiness.
But it shouldn't be such a tall order for somebody who does not do any yoga to start on that. So what are small changes that we can make?
So I tell you in a very simplistic manner, yoga is a way of life.
Right, absolutely.
So what I am just talking to is a way of life. We are in life. We have to understand the way of life. If we don't understand the way of life, we will be all the time in fear psychosis. Even you see an animal, he follows the laws of nature. It's you and me as a human being sometimes don't follow the laws of nature. We know this tobacco plant is a poison for me, I still go and engulf and swallow it in the form of cigarette and tobacco, while an animal won't look at the plant.
Right. We are our own enemies.
So we have to nurture our own self on a daily basis. It's not that you learn yoga, yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dhyana, samadhi. No, it's not the way. Every day you have to practice.
So it's a discipline.
कि मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे क्या नहीं करना है, मुझे क्या खाना है, मुझे क्या नहीं खाना है, मुझे क्या सोचना है, क्या नहीं सोचना है. If my thoughts are 80% negative, I should negate them. I should not absorb them. If I keep on getting thoughts of jealousy, hatredness, anger all the time, they accumulate, and they produce toxicity in me. I firmly believe that toxic emotions, toxic behavior, toxic relationship makes a toxic being. You can't get toxic from outside. You generate yourself.
I think that's a very powerful point to say that the poison that we're exposed to, we generate it ourselves. So surround yourself by that, whether it's in terms of food, in terms of people, in terms of multimedia, in terms of thoughts, which nurture the higher part of you. All of it can't happen at once, but that which makes you feel better about yourself, even health-wise, I think that's where we make a beginning. We're going to go in for a short break, Dr. Chopra. Attack, Heart Attack. That is something, a book you've edited, you've contributed to that also. And you've also established a close link. In fact, as you say, you were one of the first doctors to establish a link between cardiology and spirituality. So we'll talk about all that and a lot more. But right now we go in for a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still in conversation with well-known cardiologist Dr. H K Chopra. Dr. Chopra, the link between cardiology and spirituality, do share something with us.
I firmly believe that we can block our arteries and we can unblock them too, depending on my own perceptions, my own thoughts, my own interpretations, my own experiences and my own choice making. I can keep on creating blocks if I keep on eating the wrong food. I keep on eating pizzas and masala dosas and pakoras and samosa, halwas, then they pile up. All the deposits, they keep on piling in my coronary arteries. We all should understand, our blocks are not fixed blocks. They are mobile blocks. They are dynamic, they change. They don't get fixed. They get fixed only if we keep on producing the toxicity. Number one. Number two, if I'm not disciplined in my life, that I don't exercise at all. I am a sedentary worker, sitting all the time, not exercising, no concept of exercise. I'm going to get a heart attack by the age of 30 or 35. We must have an exercise concept right from the time we are in mother's womb. A mother, you can ask her, she will tell you, I feel very happy when I feel the baby's movement in my heart, within my tummy. That's the time she feels happy. The time the movements are sluggish, she is worried. And when the time when the baby is born, starts sitting, crawling, grows, exercises, till 12 is very active. After 12, he stopped exercising. Why? Because he has a burden of studies. He has a burden of so many things, and he become very sedentary. So these sedentary habits may cause hell for him.
Okay.
Third, he falls victim to all kind of toxicity. Start consuming tobacco in any form, smoking or non-smoking tobacco, or he consumes alcohol in toxic doses because he is looking for relaxation. He never follows the laws of nature, so he looks for a pacifier, and the pacifier is either smoking, or a pacifier is drinking alcohol, or he wants a pacifier by eating more sweets. So he goes to very sweet meat shop, and he believes in brunching or lunching or so many kind of things he does, and he overeats. And what becomes ultimate model? The model is obesity, and he becomes a central obesity, which is worst for human beings.
Okay.
I always say longer is the waistline, shorter is the heart line. And shorter is the waistline, longer is the heart line. Choice is purely ours. Then he gets negative emotions of negative competition, agitation, anger, all the time having a negative emotion of arrogance, ego, vengeance, vindictiveness, and helplessness. He is depressed psychologically. He is frustrated. It all has an influence on the heart. So if you are a spiritual being, you are not going to fall victim. If you ask my personal opinion, we are all spiritual beings with a human experience, and not human beings with a spiritual experience. The concept is changed. People just think that we are human beings. We are all spiritual beings. If you work from the level of consciousness, your choices will be perfect. Your decisions will be perfect. Your thinking will be perfect. Your actions will be perfect. That's what the nirvana is all about. If you follow all these things in a perfect order, in an orderly manner, there will not be any kind of turbulence or what we call as a disturbed pattern of our lifestyle. You are going to have a very healthy heart. 95% of my patients of the heart,
Right.
when I go for the round, I see the patient as a whole, and I find there is some problem somewhere in the level of the thinking or the mind. 95%. Just imagine 5% is genetic or 3% is genetic. It's a lifestyle which plays a tremendous role.
So you, as a practitioner of modern medicine, when you treat a patient, and say that change the way you think, change the way you treat your children, change the way you respond, and they say, but doctor sahab, dil ka to kuch batao na, give me some medicine for the heart, and you give them medicine for the thinking and the brain and the head. How do they respond?
You see, I tell them, and they feel very happy, some of them, that there is somebody who talks to us something. Unfortunately, most of the doctors today, they believe in CAT scan. I am the one who believe in CHAT scan.
Chat scan.
CHAT scan.
That is so sweet. Okay.
And CHAT scan is a perfect scan. It has a healing influence, not only in you as a patient, but in a doctor also. So doctor becomes a healer. I feel every cardiologist should be a healer. He should be a divine intervention and not a mechanical intervention. Even if it does a mechanical intervention, there should be divinity in it. Even if I get a drug to a patient, there should be divinity, a dose of divinity in the medicine.
And that's love, no?
Yeah, that's love. Unfortunately, it is not there. People just write a prescription. Come on, talk to a patient, please. He's giving you some problem. You're not even listening to it and writing a prescription in 2 minutes. Yes, sir. Next one. That's not the way. We should devote time, understand what he or she has a problem, and try to explain her as much as possible and give minimum medicines. We all have internal pharmacy within us.
Right.
All these chemicals, what do we do with the medicines? I just try to increase what is reduced in me, and whatever is increased in me, I try to reduce with the medicines from outside.
Right.
If there is a optimization of my pharmacy within it, I don't need anything from outside. So if I can speak nicely and give a confidence, faith, and indulge some kind of hope in an individual, I'm sure he will not fall victim. I keep on pushing him the drugs like take Alprex, take Fludac, take this tranquilizer. It's not the answer. It will produce toxicity. And there is no way to measure the toxicity.
Right.
So it is better to interact them nicely, understand them nicely, explain them nicely. Most of my patients, they come to me, they say, we feel tranquility when we come to you.
Because somebody listens to
That's
them.
a big
I love
compliment.
that.
That's the biggest compliment.
A chat scan instead of a CAT scan.
That's a compliment. And I devote time. I don't see more than 10 patients, 12 patients per day. I devote 30 minutes per patient.
So do you think this whole system and institution of family doctors is critical and important, because somewhere we seem to be losing it?
I think the family doctor and specialist is a different aspect. My aim is very different. My aim is every doctor should have a doctor of a doctor within him.
Which
He
sees
should
the
be
person.
a healer as an individual.
Right.
Because the family physician has a very limited potential of thinking and understanding. A specialist has a wider potential of thinking and understanding. So both of them should explore their perspective in a very positive manner, in a very soothing manner, not in a frightening manner.
So do you think the commerce of the profession has overtaken the nobility of the profession sometimes?
I think it's very important. If you really want the profession should be noble, a doctor should be a perfect human being and a perfect spiritual being. If he is a perfect human and spiritual being and then a perfect scientist, he is a perfect doctor. But if a doctor is only a drug pusher, then he is not a perfect doctor. A doctor should understand the human psyche, the human mind, the human body. But today, most of us understand only the physical body. We don't talk of subtle body. Subtle body is what we call as mind, intellect and ego.
Right.
Or the causal body, what we call as soul and spirit. We should understand every aspect of life. We should understand even how our atoms work within us, how our molecules work. You and me are formed by quantum soup, then become quarks, then boson, and then we become atom, and then molecule, and then tissues, and then organ, and then organ integrate, and we become a being. And then our being interact with the whole environment and become a very wide being, huge being. And this huge being is so called a nation or a world. We are all interconnected. A very nice expression by Albert Einstein, who once said that we are not the web, or we are not what we think of a physical matter. We are much beyond this. We are all the web of information and energy interwoven with the emotions and intelligence from the level of consciousness. What a beautiful wording he has mentioned.
Very beautiful.
So we are not the packages of flesh and bone.
So what do you think can be the role of pivotal bodies and senior specialists like you who understand the concept of a doctor also being a healer, so that there is greater advocacy and greater filtering down of this concept?
I think a need has come. We have to start a wellness program in every specialty. Maybe a heart wellness program, or maybe a diabetes wellness program, or a cancer wellness program, or so-called a joint wellness program, or a women's wellness program, or a baby wellness program, or pregnancy wellness program, eye wellness, ear wellness. Wellness is the key. Wellness is a huge well which needs to be nurtured every time, every moment of life, if you want to be very peaceful, happy and healthy being. That's the only way we can be healthy as defined by World Health Organization. That's what I feel.
Okay. This link between a cardiologist being a spiritual being and spirituality or equanimity helping a cardiologist perform his or her role. But cardiology, the link between spirituality and cardiology, what is that?
See, I tell you, if I am a perfect meditator, if I meditate every day, meditation means present moment awareness. A feeling of silence within you and experiencing this silence is what we call as meditation. If I have that feeling of experiencing of the silence feeling, then I can go to the infinite possibilities, infinite probabilities, and pure potentialities. It's all possible because I'll be at peace with myself. So our aim is, as a cardiologist, we all should practice meditation. We should teach meditation so that you are calm and cool and not agitated, so that your biochemistry within you is in equilibrium with the environment outside you. 1. Number 2, we should preach that I will exercise every day myself, what we call as heart friendly exercises and heart unfriendly exercises. Heart friendly exercises are like walking, walking, jogging, swimming, cycling, treadmilling are heart friendly exercises. Heart unfriendly exercises are like weightlifting, not good. Push-ups, not good. Yoga, very good. All the 8 limbs of yoga, as I mentioned to you earlier.
Right.
And follow all these asanas, very good. Whether it's Kapalbhati or any Bhastrika, all these asanas are excellent. But you should optimize what is good for you. I can't do all these asanas when you are pregnant. I can't do these asanas when I am 90 years of age. I can't do this asana when I am 3 years old.
Right.
So it has to be optimized according to the age, according to what kind of disease you have. If you have a pacemaker inside, you cannot do all these kind of things. If you got a bypass surgery, you cannot do all these things. I have seen most of the patients, they come for a walk in Lodi Garden. I love Lodi Garden. I go there for last 40 years, every day for 1 hour. And I meet a lot of people. They come to Lodi Garden only after bypass surgery. They are coming to Lodi Garden only after having a pacemaker, because they never had a concept of walking. What a painful it is.
So then that becomes illness, but wellness would say start walking young, you know.
The concept of wellness is coming only after they fall ill.
Right.
I always say everybody, most of us are busy in earning money, and then we are busy in losing that money and trying to earn health. It is gone.
Right.
So we should be busy to an extent.
Right.
So that we don't lose our health.
So balance, basically,
Balance.
moderation, balance,
Balance.
bring in diversity and variety.
And third thing which I always say, you must have a perfect choices of your eating. And then perfect choices of not doing certain things, as I mentioned to you about tobacco and alcohol or consuming poisons in any form. And then we must have a perfect control on our emotions. What we call in a simple language as stress management. If there is no stress, there is no life. Stress is very important, but we should learn how to cope with the stress. The coping becomes better if I do yoga every day. I am 65 years of my age and I do yoga every day in my life. I do exercise every day in my life. So I am surviving before you. And touch wood, with the God's grace, we are doing better. We are working hard, and I write a lot of books on nirvana. There is a cardiologist. I write a lot of books on lifestyle and health. And just yesterday I submitted a small write-up for a booklet on yoga as the pathway to enlightenment and nirvana to SHM, which I am sure will be published very soon. And I am writing a book on heart attack, how to attack heart attack when it is happening, and how to prevent heart attack is different.
All right.
Which I also written a textbook on cardiology, and I am also written a book which is coming up very soon now, what we call a STEMI update. It is also known as simplistic languages, how to attack heart attack. What are the methods by which you can attack heart attack?
Right.
Our lifestyle is very, very important. I think if we have a positive lifestyle right from the time we are born, as a school student or as a child in a family or in a college or in our workplace, and maintain the discipline and learn how to cope with the stress, and don't fall victim to any kind of addiction. Smoking and drinking are the worst addictions. We must play, we must game, we must meditate, we must do yoga, have a recreation. Everything should be done in moderation and no toxic consumption.
That means it's how you treat and look at your body. If
Absolutely.
it is sacred and if it's like a temple or something of value, would you want to put rubbish in it?
Absolutely.
Emotionally,
I agree.
physically, spiritually.
Absolutely.
So it's how you treat yourself and that body, and then based on that, the body is actually going to answer your prayers. One prayer is, am I healthy? Am I thinking healthy?
Absolutely.
So I think that's the beautiful relationship.
Absolutely.
Dr. Chopra, a lot of us also, sometimes don't know how to respond or how to recognize that somebody's heart is in trouble, and we lose a lot of critical time. So could you share some things with us that we could watch out for?
Yeah, I think it's very important. Every one of us should understand what the signs and symptoms of heart attack are. If you get any chest pain in the center of the heart, or pain radiation to the left arm, or to the neck, or in the back, or even in the right arm, and there is an associated sweating or choking sensation or suffocation or feeling of griping, or as if it is an elephant feet on my chest, if that feeling comes in a feeling of extreme exhaustion, that means you are landing up towards a heart attack.
That means ये चीज़ें अकेली भी हो सकती है, कभी कभी खाली पेन इधर हो या पीछे हो, मगर ये सारी जब एक साथ होती हैं, that means एक बारी फिर हमारे लिए बताइएगा, पेन इन द
सेंट्रल पार्ट ऑफ द चेस्ट, अगर छाती में बहुत दर्द हो, अनबेरेबल हो, पसीना आए और उसका रेडिएशन हो लेफ्ट में या राइट में या जॉ में जाए या बैक में जाए,
वही पेन आपको लगता है,
वही पेन, और ऐसा अनबेरेबल हो जो आपको जिंदगी में आज तक कभी नहीं हुआ, उसको कहते हैं एक्सक्रूशिएटिंग पेन. So that's a feeling that I'm getting towards a heart attack. Don't take haldi or saaf or anything of that sort, and don't consult any of your general practitioners or any pharmacist. Straight away dial the number 911 in USA, in India 108, call for an ambulance. जैसे एम्बुलेंस आई एकदम अपने ECG कराइए. अभी शॉर्टली हम एक ऐप रिलीज कर रहे हैं
जी. उस
ऐप का मतलब ये है कि आप बटन प्रेस करिए कि मुझे जो लगता है ये शायद हार्ट अटैक हो सकता है, तो आप जैसे प्रेस करेंगे 108, एम्बुलेंस आपके पास 5 मिनट में पहुंच जाएगी. जैसे एम्बुलेंस पहुंचे वो आपका ECG करेंगे, और यू कैन ट्रांसफर दिस ECG थ्रू योर मोबाइल फोन टू द डॉक्टर ऑन whom your faith
consult करते हैं,
or you consult, and then doctor will read it and say, yeah, you got a heart attack, give a clot buster. So straight away clot buster can be given to you right there.
एक छोटी सी गोली दे देंगे.
नहीं, इंजेक्शन होता है.
इंजेक्शन होता है.
वो इंजेक्शन होता है, इसे कहते हैं क्लॉट डिसॉल्विंग इंजेक्शन, जो कि क्लॉट को या जो खून का थक्का जम जाता है उसको घुल देता है. उसको घुलने से हार्ट को हम हार्ट अटैक से बचा सकते हैं. उसको कहते हैं अबॉर्ट द हार्ट अटैक, हार्ट अटैक होने ना देना, और अगर हो भी जाए तो उसको डैमेज ना हो, और उसके बाद में इसको इमीडिएटली उस हॉस्पिटल में शिफ्ट कराएं जहां PCI करते हैं. PCI मीन्स परक्यूटेनियस इंटरवेंशन करते हैं, या एंजियोप्लास्टी करते हैं या स्टेंट करते हैं. वह एंजियोग्राफी होती है और वहाँ मालूम पड़ जाता है इसको ब्लॉकेज है कि नहीं, और हमने जो खून डिज़ोल्व करने का इंजेक्शन लगाया था, क्लॉट डिज़ोल्व करने का, उससे घुल गए कि नहीं क्लॉट. अगर नहीं घुल गए तो उसको एंजियोप्लास्टी कर दिया. एंजियोप्लास्टी मतलब बलून से डायलेट कर दिया, और उसके बाद में एक स्टेंट लगा दिया. उस स्टेंट लगाने से वो नाड़ी खुली रहती है. तो ये इसकी अवेयरनेस होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो उसके लिए हमने एक स्पेशल ऐप क्रिएट किया है, हाउ टू अटैक हार्ट अटैक, which will be launched very soon. I think most probably in September, on the occasion of World Heart Day.
Right. डॉक्टर चोपड़ा, आपने बात की कि फर्स्ट एड, फिर आप कभी वो गोल्डन आवर, in that time if you go you rush to the hospital, but there are many places where an angioplasty is done, an angiography is done, and people say 50% blockage है, 40% blockage है, कुछ बोलते हैं 90% है, एक में है. तो कहीं ये थोड़ा कन्फ्यूजन होता है कितने ब्लॉकेज पे आप स्टेंट लगाइए, बिकॉज इट्स ऑल्सो बिकम अ बिजनेस एंड अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंट्स आर नाउ बिकम सस्पिशियस, और कभी कभी सस्पिशन सही होती है, कभी कभी गलत भी होती है. तो ये जो शक की निगाह से हम देखते हैं, कुछ क्लैरिटी लाइए कि कितनी ब्लॉकेज ठीक है, कितने में स्टेंट की ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्या हो सकता है?
ये एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट आपने पूछा. आपने जो एक बात कही गोल्डन आवर की, इसका कंसेप्ट बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर आपको सीवियर चेस्ट पेन, आपको लग रहा है कि हार्ट अटैक है, और अगर वो हार्ट अटैक है तो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ गोल्डन आवर इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमें कोशिश करना है कि 3 घंटे में हमको किसी भी तरह से पूरा ट्रीटमेंट मिल जाना चाहिए. ये तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली 50% ऑफ पेशेंट डाई एट होम, एंड इट्स ओनली 50% कम टू द हॉस्पिटल, एंड दैट टू विथ डैमेज इन द हार्ट मसल. तो उसका इमीडिएट ट्रीटमेंट करना चाहिए. अगर हमने एंजियोग्राफी करी और आपका ब्लॉक 95 to 100% है, straight away he has to go for angioplasty and stenting. अगर किसी को सिम्टम होते हैं चलने में 85% ब्लॉक है, 90% ब्लॉक है, जिससे हम कहते हैं एंजाइना ऑफ एफर्ट या रेस्ट एंजाइना जिसको होता है, दे नीड एंजियोप्लास्टी एंड स्टेंटिंग 100%. बट अगर कईयों को ब्लॉकेजेस हैं और अच्छे कोलेटरल डेवलप हो रहे हैं, देन इट इज़ द डॉक्टर्स चॉइस व्हाट टू डू वेयर. एक होता है कल्प्रिट वेसल. कल्प्रिट वेसल मतलब जो इन्फार्क्ट रिलेटेड आर्टरी है, जहाँ हमारा अटैक हुआ है, उसकी जो नाड़ी है जो ब्लड सप्लाई उस एरिया में करती है, अगर उसमें ब्लॉकेज है 95% या 90%, तो वहाँ एंजियोप्लास्टी करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. उसके अलावा छोटी मोटी आर्टरीज और हैं जहाँ 50% ब्लॉक है या 60% ब्लॉक है, और जो blockages हैं they are not so malignant, so the doctor decide what to do and what not to do. It is purely the discretion of the doctor who does the angiography at that point of time. लेकिन जो अटैक रिलेटेड आर्टरी है उसको पहले अटैक करना चाहिए कि उसमें फिर ब्लॉकेज ना हो और फिर डैमेज ना हो. इसका कंसेप्ट बहुत ज़रूरी है एंड वी ऑल शुड हैव ए अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस.
हमने जब हार्ट अटैक्स की बात की, अब देख रहे हैं कि यंगर एंड यंगर पीपल आर कमिंग विद हार्ट रिलेटेड इश्यूज, इवन यंग चिल्ड्रन आर नाउ हैविंग दिस. So how do we ensure, other than diet and physical exercise and the mental balance, how do we ensure that we are constantly awake and adept at seeing, is my body responding well to me?
After the age of 30, I feel everyone should have at least every year checkup till the age of 50 or 55. And after 50, every 6 months checkup.
तो वो checkup में क्या होता है? हाँ जी.
When I say checkup, उसको बोलते हैं heart work plan. Heart work plan means we check your cholesterol. What is a good cholesterol? What is a bad cholesterol? Good cholesterol is heart protective and bad cholesterol is injurious for heart. तो उसकी मात्रा कितनी है? Total cholesterol should be less than 130. Triglyceride should be less than 130. HDL should be more than 40 in males, more than 50 in females. And then LDL should be less than 70. And then VLDL should also be less. So if all these bad cholesterol is low and the good cholesterol is high, then we protect the heart. Similarly, your blood sugar, fasting blood sugar should be less than 100. Similarly, other things like what we call HSCRP, high sensitive C-reactive protein, then homocysteine levels, they are all markers, biomarkers of a premature heart attacks. And then we also see our kidney function, our thyroid function, and we see all kind of biochemistry like calcium and vitamin D. There is a lot of concept. 90% of Delhiites or Indians are suffering from vitamin D deficiency. So we must ensure a complete normal level of vitamin D so that we don't fall victim. Even B1 deficiency, B12 deficiency, all these vitamin deficiency cause oxidative stress. So इन चीज़ों की deficiency नहीं होना चाहिए, और जो चीज़ की मात्रा नहीं चाहिए उसकी toxicity नहीं होना चाहिए. तो there is a complete heart work plan जिसमें हम blood pressure check करते हैं, ECG देखते हैं, central obesity देखते हैं. As I told you कि central obesity is very very important. It should be about 36 inches in men and it should be less than 32 inches in women. Central obesity, right at the level of umbilicus. तो it's very important. और हम चाहते हैं कि किसी की भी pot belly नहीं होना चाहिए. Pot belly is the most powerful predictor of a premature heart attack. Very very powerful. तो हमारी जो obesity की definition है, not only BMI, but the most important is central obesity. तो central obesity के बारे में ज्ञान होना चाहिए कि we need more measuring tape and not many weighing machines.
Weighing scales. Actually, we all weigh ourselves.
Yeah, so it's very important. I think this concept has to come. And then regularity, go to a doctor if you have high blood pressure. If you have any kind of symptoms, don't hesitate going to a doctor. Have a ECG check, have a echo checkup done. All these things should be done on a regular period. Then I think till the age of 50, you will not have any problem. And after 55 or 60, most of us need some medication. Because there is a total aging change or disequilibrium in our body.
And the body responds differently also.
Differently. So we need to have a balance. So for which we need some medication. It should be under supervision of a doctor.
And this vitamin pill popping culture, how important are external vitamins?
I think there are some vitamins very important. As I mentioned to you, vitamin D3 deficiency is very common. So we have to give vitamin D if it is deficient. If it is B12 deficient, B1 deficient, we have to give it folic acid, very very important. So all those things wherever we require, we should give it. And I always feel one should also learn to have a laughter technique in our daily life. What we call as internal jogging. I feel laughter is a tranquilizer, laughter is an energizer, Laughter is a stabilizer, laughter is a happinessizer, and laughter is an equipoiser. Please laugh.
Wonderful.
And one should laugh without a condition. Unconditioned laughter is the best laughter. And don't laugh at others, otherwise there will be a problem.
Absolutely.
Always laugh like a baby. Baby laughs 400 times a day, but an adult not even 4 times a day.
Right.
What a painful.
I know. Very sad how we lose the best gifts that we get.
Absolutely.
So finally, before we say thank you, Dr. Chopra, what inspires you at a personal level?
I think the best inspiration for me is an attitude of gratitude. Number one. Number two, I always believe that we should have a faculty or an attitude of giving something to somebody at some point of time. Automatically you will receive it.
Without an agenda?
Without an agenda.
Just, okay.
Give for the sake of giving, without any expectation.
Okay.
And third, always have a tranquility of mind. Attitude of gratitude is the best attitude of life.
Right.
And I think keep on doing something for society, selflessly. You will get everything in life.
Wonderful.
That's what I feel.
So we take this opportunity to show you our attitude of gratitude. Our gratitude to you, Dr. Chopra,
Thank
for
you.
coming on to this show. It was wonderful learning with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doordarshan has always been holding up a mirror to the true emotions of India. We have been part of your joys and your celebrations. And for every parent, there is no greater joy than the birth of their child.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Every birthday that follows is celebrated with abundant joy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Come, share your joy with us.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
We will celebrate your child's birthday in our program Aaj Savere, being telecast Monday to Saturday at 7:30 a.m. on DD National. If your child is between the ages of 1 to 7 years, please send your child's photograph and date of birth to Additional Director General, Doordarshan Kendra, Delhi, room number 821, Doordarshan Bhavan, Tower B, Mandi House, New Delhi 110001, or email at aajsavere@ddkdelhi.org.in.